Okay, dear friends in Dhamma, so we have come to the third question and answer session. So we have received a couple of written questions, and we will start the session with written questions.
Thiruvan Saranai Bante, there are 4 questions. The fifth one is on its way.
Yeah.
At the moment, there are 3 on meditation and 1 general question. The first question. I'm kind of new to meditation. Today, while I was concentrating on breathing, I felt like my body was relaxing, like going into a transient state. I'm pretty sure I was not falling asleep, as I was consciously observing my breathing. Could you kindly explain what might be the reason?
Yeah, actually, I think we discussed this already. Basically, and when our concentration develops, say if you are doing mindfulness on breathing, so more and more mind get collected, mind get focused onto breathing, and slowly we discard all the other distractions, say about the world, about the various other issues, problems, and including the various other bodily pains and all bodily sensations. And mind is fairly collected, well focused onto breathing. Ultimately, say you are fully with breathing only, then you can't even feel the body. This, in a way, we are refining our attention, very much focusing our attention. Fair amount of energy is well concentrated onto breathing now. No problem. I mean, you don't need to worry about it. Now just concentrate on breathing, and you can investigate closely how breathing happens. What are the differences between in-breath and out-breath, whether it is longer, shorter, warmer, cooler, etc. So you can investigate. Now, I mean, when mind is well collected, well focused, concentrated, then you can do a proper investigation. So it is why we need it. Why we need a concentrated mind is this reason. Then we can abandon all the other distracting points, and we are quite relaxed. And now we have established mindfulness on breathing, maybe feelings or whatever it is, maybe rising and falling, whatever it is, what you have used. Now you can start investigation, some close investigation. So that close investigation we have to continue. Through that close investigation, now we are getting more and more understanding. Because, I mean, the knowledge about the phenomena, that is a kind of a direct knowledge, direct experience. It is not that we imagine or think or read. Rather, we directly observe how it is behaving without any distractions. You are well focused. Now you are allowing it to move as it like, and you are closely examining, closely investigating. So this close investigation is what useful in Vipassana to have a proper understanding.
Venerable Bhante, when the mind becomes equanimous, within a short period, the boringness appears, as the mind doesn't like to the monotonous nature associated with the equanimity. Then the mind becomes vulnerable, tries to hang on the desirable thoughts and get away from the boringness. Sometimes mindfulness also becomes vulnerable in such situations. Please kindly advise how to handle this.
Yeah, we have to bear. So, I mean, because, I mean, if we are using something exciting at this moment, or you are changing the, object of your attention, so that is not the solution. Because, even if you change your object, that object also will come to the same situation. So, this is the nature of the meditation. Say, whatever you concentrate, it will evolve, and ultimately you come to a fairly, very subtle and mostly equanimous kind of a state. So that we have to maintain. I mean, that is where we have certain, obstacles. Say, one obstacle is once we reach this state, we fall asleep. Because no events, not exciting. Previously, there are certain gross sensations, but now those gross sensations have all disappeared. Now what we have is a very subtle sensation. And that is not enough to make ourselves wake up. So then we fall asleep. So that is one obstacle. On the other thing is, when we are there, so mind have nothing to strongly hold, then mind easily get distracted. So that is another obstacle. So we have to avoid both sides. So either allowing the mind to get distracted or to go to sleep. How to maintain kind of a proper balance without falling asleep or without allowing mind to get distracted. When even the object of our attention has become very calm, very, say, subtle. So we have to train. That is where the training is required. Again and again we reach there. Okay, first time we become restless. Next time, okay, we reach there. Okay, we fall asleep. Next time, again restless. Again restless. Maybe another time, okay, not restless, not sleeping. We can simply maintain it. So likewise, you have to train the mind. Even though now the feeling is fairly equanimous, maybe a little boring, but you are not being distracted. You are not even fallen asleep, but you can carefully be with it. So likewise, you have to slowly train. That's the only way. Yeah.
Theruvan Saranai. Dear Bhante.
And small thing. Now, while you are there, suppose later say there are various sensations start to pop up. So then you have some more raw material to investigate. Because we never know. I mean, when we are there, we don't need to do anything, but automatically various other sensations can automatically come out. Say certain vibrations might appear, certain tingling sensations might appear, maybe little pains appear. Then probably rather than just being on the breath, probably you can see whether you can investigate these different phenomena. So that is another option available. I mean, for that to have, maybe you have to maintain this situation for a while. Then only you can see how would it manifest as. Because we can't predict how it will evolve. So when we are there, you have to simply be there and see how it's going to happen. So if there are various sensations coming out, then you can try to look at them. Or if not, probably again the breathing can happen. It may appear. Then you can start watching that. So likewise, say maybe certain thoughts appear. If you are capable, probably even you can watch thoughts. So many possibilities are there. I mean, it's a matter of being there and see how it is going to happen.
Theruvan Saranai. Dear Bhante, in meditating, if one achieves the anishrita condition, can easily attain samadhi.
Sorry, anishrita condition, and then?
Can easily attain samadhi.
Yes. Because I mean, the point is, you're reaching anishrita condition or unassociated state of mind indicates, if you have achieved that properly, that indicates fair amount of calming down or concentration of the mind is available, using which you are able to develop fair amount of understanding. So when that understanding, that wisdom has grown to some extent, then only mind has let go of. Now you are in a anishrita state, not doing any kind of a grasping, but mind enjoys kind of a freedom. So while being there, if you simply maintain this, then you are coming to another different kind of samadhi, what we call, say, animitta samadhi, sunyata samadhi. So these are the vipassana type of samadhi you can achieve. So that's why once the mind has released grasping, so you have to maintain that non-grasping state for a while. Say 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. So likewise you have to prolong that period. Then slowly you may developing that anishrita state of mind, which may turn up either as say animitta samadhi, sunyata samadhi, something like that. Yeah. So this is, I mean, rather than doing that, suppose you are trying to concentrate back on the breathing and you are trying to develop concentration. Not necessary. Yeah.
Second paragraph in that question.
Yeah.
Is anishrita condition a property of samadhi or stepping stone to samadhi? Much merit to you.
We can say it's a kind of a milestone in the vipassana meditation, and after we are there, once we reach there, then we can very much like consolidate that state. So what we achieve at the beginning is very transient, maybe only for a short period, maybe 1 minute. But again and again when you are doing it, then you get confident, okay, when I am continuing my proper investigation, okay, at this moment, say after 30 minutes, I reach there. Then again you are doing it again. Then after 30 minutes again you are coming there, reaching there. Then you feel confident, okay, this kind of situation is there. I am continuing my observation, say different feelings are there, you are observing it, various thoughts are there, I am observing it. Say after 30 minutes, now mind become sort of free, temporary freedom. So then you feel confident. And later when you are continuing, now you won't even take 30 minutes, maybe within 25 minutes you come there. Maybe within 20 minutes you can come there. So likewise, this is a kind of a cultivation, kind of a training. And when you are confident, then you can stay longer even. Once you are there, stay longer. How to be there for 5 minutes, how to be there for 10 minutes. So likewise, you have to fairly consolidate that state. Then mind knows, okay, can be there, no problem. Nothing to be afraid. Can be there, just enjoy. Doing what? Doing nothing. Just do nothing. Just go there and just relax, just enjoy. Enjoy the calmness. Enjoy the unassociated state. No grasping. Just stay. Just enjoy the silence of the mind. So that is why I've mentioned that it has a kind of milestone in Vipassana. So once you are there, you need to recognize it. You need to appreciate it. And then only you are able to fairly consolidate that so that you can be there. Just be there. Expecting nothing.
Venerable Bhante, please kindly explain how the 5 hindrances should be handled at the Vipassana level without getting caught to those.
Without getting caught to those. Yeah, say when you reach, say as you say, even this anisita state, say you have to little relax and see, rather than forcing the mind, rather than subsiding defilements, you have to little relax yourself and allow thoughts to happen. And these thoughts either may belong to some sensual desires, maybe to certain hatred, maybe to some lethargic feelings, lethargic thoughts, or maybe some restless thoughts, maybe even doubts. So these are manifestations of various hindrances. Now, when we are developing further, so you may even can understand how a particular sensual desire even arise. How even the first thought of anger may arise. How even mind start to become restless. How a particular thought of doubt start. So even the first thought you can even recognize. So then actually the hindrances become kind of a teacher. So using hindrances, now we are developing wisdom. Hindrances are there. Now we are watching them. They are coming and you are watching them. And they are trying to tempt you, but you are not. You are not being tempted. Now they are going. They are passing away. Now you understand these hindrances are not that strong. They also have the nature to come and go. They also have the nature to arise and pass away. Sensual desire, maybe hatred, hateful thoughts, maybe restless, maybe different kinds of, there is no proper direction to the mind, but something it is thinking. Different kinds of thoughts. Restlessness. So they also come and go, come and go, come and go. But you are not supporting any of them. You are not even suppressing them. So after a while, everything discarded. So they leave the mind. So you can simply watch. You can simply relax. Even certain doubts. Maybe you are doubtful about what's going to happen next. What am I going to do? So another thought. Simply have to watch. You can see a kind of an uncertainty has arisen. Kind of a doubt has arisen in the mind. So you are simply watching it. You are not promoting it. You are simply observing how a thought is arising. And since you are not being caught up with it, then it is simply going. Actually, sometimes when we are not that mindful, we get caught up easily. So we are weak. We don't have much mindfulness. And we are trying to observe. Ultimately, they absorb us. Then we are supporting it. Ultimately, we are thinking, get into it. But more mindfulness is available, clear comprehension is available, then we are powerful. Our wholesome side is more powerful than the hindrance side. Then hindrance may easily go away. So, but anyway, you need to learn these things through practice. So these are just directions, but you have to, it's kind of a trial and error, because how do you know that my mindfulness, my clear comprehension is enough to handle these thoughts now? You have to put it to yourself to practice and see whether I am doing it properly. So you have to, first time or first day you might get caught. Nothing to worry. Maybe next day, probably to some extent you are happy, you can maintain. You are not being caught. Maybe another day, no problem. You are simply watching and they are going. You don't need to struggle at all. So you are there, hindrance is coming and you recognize it. Simply watching it, now it is disappearing. You don't have to do a lot of vipassana. You don't need to even apply a lot of techniques. That very awareness, just paying attention would be enough for this thought to disappear. So likewise, different techniques are there, and whatever is working out at that given moment would be better.
There are 3 questions here, Bhante. Respected Bhante, Theruvan Saranai, are there prerequisites for Vipassana meditation?
Samatha? Samatha as kind of a prerequisite? Because you need some amount of concentration. So you can't immediately start Vipassana. Even though we tell that, okay, I am doing mindfulness meditation, I am doing Vipassana. Actually, when you are telling, say, I am watching breath, can we say that I am practicing Vipassana? Say, in breath, out breath, in breath, out breath. We can't, genuinely we can't say we are practicing Vipassana. We are simply developing some amount of calmness of the mind. We are trying to develop mindfulness, we can say, like that. But later, okay, you can maintain that mindfulness. You can watch breathing for considerable period of time, maybe 20 breaths, 50 breaths. So likewise, you can continuously pay your attention. That indicates certain amount of mindfulness has developed, certain amount of concentration has developed. Now you can maintain your attention, mindfulness, for a considerable period of time on breathing. Probably now you can start watching the characteristics of breathing. Say, what are the differences between in-breath and out-breath, whether it is longer, shorter, warmer, cooler, etc., etc. So that is a little bit of, now you are biased little towards the Vipassana. Say, you are trying to plant the seed of wisdom by clearly recognizing these subtle characteristics of breathing. You are going towards yoniso manasikara. Rather than just satisfying with breathing, now you are trying to little investigate. So this investigation, clear comprehension is the beginning of, say, development of Vipassana. So, when we are talking about the term Vipassana, so it's a kind of an umbrella term where we can apply at many different stages. So, just improving mindfulness, then establishing, say, having fair amount of concentration, then closely investigating this phenomena may be the beginning. Then through the observation, investigation, probably you may understand how they are behaving or what are the characteristics they have. That is also may part of Vipassana. Say different characteristics, say hardness, softness, smoothness, roughness. So likewise these subtle characteristics. Maybe if you are watching feelings, whether it is pleasurable feeling, painful feeling, equanimous feeling. So rather than you being identifying with them, I am going through suffering, I am suffering, why am I suffering? So rather than interpreting like that, so it's a painful feeling. You are keeping painful feeling as it is, looking at it objectively. So that differentiation, that having kind of a distance is necessary. So this is a kind of a prerequisite. Because Vipassana requires that kind of a detached observation, unidentified observation. This pain or pleasure or equanimity is just a feeling. You keep it as it is, and now you are observing it. You do an unbiased kind of an observation. non-judgmental observation. Then you can get a proper understanding of how feelings are working, how feelings are behaving. So, developing these qualities are kind of a prerequisite. Development of mindfulness, having fair amount of concentration so that you can maintain your observation for a longer period of time, and maintaining your posture, having proper posture so that you can continue your session for longer period of time and not going to sleep, not allowing the mind to become restless, having that very equanimous kind of attitude, and even having fair amount of faith, because at the beginning no results, you are trying hard, no results. So what is going to promote? What is the factor that allowing you to continue? Maybe faith. You have some faith. Even though I am not experiencing any results will come. Let me continue. So you have to have that confidence. So that faith. So all these things matter actually. Now again you have kind of a gratitude, you have some feeling of gratitude towards the Buddha. So he has, as a teacher, he has come up with some deep understanding. So out of compassion he has taught us. So you have kind of a gratitude. So all these things actually matter little by little. And so that you are approaching the practice wholeheartedly and doing it little by little, continuing your practice for a longer time, maintaining a daily routine. So likewise, all these things matter, as we even discussed yesterday and day before yesterday. So how you are going to sharpen the faculties, how we are going to sharpen faculties, say doing it continuously, doing it wholeheartedly, maintaining kind of a proper schedule, understanding who are to be associated, whom we should not associate, what is the proper time, what is the best posture. So likewise, many things are fairly having some favorable contribution. So understanding them and then using it properly really matters. Yeah. So that's why ultimately, it takes time. Because even though I am telling, so you yourself have to understand according to your character, according to your situation, what would be mostly suitable for me. It's your own investigation. I can't meditate for you. Buddha can't meditate for us. We ourselves have to do it. That's why Buddha very clearly mentioned that. Tumhe kiccang atappang akkhataro tathagata. Patipanno pamakkantu macchuno jahayino mara bandana. Tumhe kiccang atappang. You yourself have to put forth effort. Akkhataro tathagata. Buddhas are merely teachers. They are the ones showing the path. Patipanna pamokkantu, who is putting themselves into practice. Patipanna pamokkantu, I can't remember the last sentence. So who will become free from the Mara's bond. So that you have to put yourself into practice. Knowing the path is also not enough. Now the doctor has given you the prescription. You are paying it to respect, and you pay respect to the doctor. But you didn't go to the pharmacy and got the medicine. Even if you have the medicine, but you didn't take the dose, will your ailment recover? Same thing, very practical. So Buddha has done his job. He has given enough prescriptions. So we ourselves have to practice them, put them into practice. Then only the results may happen. Yeah, very practical path. Yeah.
Would you say that emotion and sensation are the same?
No. Sensation may be the most, primordial kind of level. And on top of sensation, we are adding our own constructions, our own biased attitudes, likes, dislikes, tendencies, etc. Then it becomes little grown. Now I feel it. I become angry. I feel, worried. I feel anxious, I feel nervous, say, I feel worried. So likewise, emotions are more kind of a grown level, but sensations are more into the more primary level, may closer to the feeling, just the feeling. Mere feeling, mere sensation is not yet a emotion. So, but we are adding to it, we are constructing, we are putting so many other decorations into it, then it is growing to the level of emotion. But mostly what happens is, at the beginning we don't have much mindfulness, so we start to feel emotion. I feel, okay, I am angry right now. I feel I'm worried right now. So that means it has come to the emotion level. But slowly, when you are developing mindfulness, you may not reach that level. So you may slowly recognize these sensations, these feelings at their very initial stages. And that very recognition allows you to disengage, and now you are not feeding it, so that it is not growing to the emotional level. So it's a kind of a gradual, going to the source, going to the root. At the root level, we have merely pleasurable feeling, maybe we call sensation, etc., but not the kind of a strong kind of an emotion.
The last question. Why do we feel sleepy during meditation? Is that a sleep or a kind of subconscious state of mind?
Actually, both can happen. So, sleep also can happen. That is the mostly what happen. So, you come to the meditation session and you find out the wall and then stretch your arms and legs. In breath, out breath, in breath, out breath. So that is not meditation, that is sleeping. So it's very natural, by the way. I mean, we have to forgive ourselves because we are in a hectic schedule and so much of stress, and coming back here is nothing to do, quite boring, ultimately fall asleep. That's why, I mean, better go out at that time. No point of just staying. Better go out and have a bit of wash your face and just walk. Better walk in an open environment. Maybe fairly illuminated environment. Because walking is fairly allowing you to, release all the tensions and all the, say, difficulties mostly, what is stored in your mind. So after a fairly good walk, you can come and sit and see. And even sitting you can do outside. I mean, if where you are meditating is fairly gloomy, mostly you may fall asleep. So that's why, I mean, certain preparation is necessary. Say you do that walking, and maybe you have some hot water or maybe a little bit of tea, maintaining proper posture, kind of an energetic posture at the beginning, and probably you have well illuminated environment, so very tidy environment, very clean environment, so that mind is not crowdy. Certain preparations are really helpful to keep you awake. And maybe warming up exercises if necessary, you can do that. That's also helpful. But anyway, even, I mean, when you are going through meditation, especially even we discussed just now, so when the object becomes subtler and subtler, that's high possibility we go to sleep. So that we can't avoid very much. Like next time also we have to try, might fall asleep. Next time also you are trying, okay, you can maintain to some extent. Now as you mentioned, little unconscious like, not really completely sleep, but little dizzy like. Little foggy, but not completely sleeping. But later you can fully awake even when breath has become extremely subtle. So the sensitivity of the mind improving now. So even when the object is very subtle, you have fair amount of sensitivity in the mind, you can be awake. So it's a gradual growth. So don't worry. I mean, even though you fall asleep, don't worry. It's natural state. as we continue, definitely you can recover that. I can remember how I faced the same situation. So especially when we are working, you are doing a lot of multitasking. Say you are using various computers and all sort of things. Because when you are looking at the computer screen, you keep awake. And when you close your eyes and watch breathing, fall asleep. Because you are your eyes are now used to this screen time. Too much screen time. In a way harmful. And that's why we need to understand certain occupations have this impact. So that's why we have to have some countermeasures to balance this. So don't look at it continuously for a longer time. You may end up with dry eyes or maybe kind of drowsiness. Of course, the eyesight may reduce. Problems are there. And meditation, of course, really helpful. Because it helps to calm down, establish mindfulness. Because when you are looking at it, you are in an imaginary world. You are in a different situation. You are in an assumed world. But when you meditate, you are here. Here, now. Meditating, I'm sitting. Come back to the moment. So it's a kind of a gradual growth. Nothing to worry. But we need to take some measures to practice. That's all. So those are the questions that we have received. So if you have any other question, we have time. Okay, I have a small announcement. So at 2:30 we have a guided sitting, half an hour session. I am conducting it through Zoom. So I request Janice to help you in showing it. And then 3 o'clock we have a Dhamma sermon, another half an hour. Then we have the question and answer session. So this is something I usually do on Sundays, and you also can participate in it. And if you all need, I heard that 10 yogis are going to stay today. If you all need, we can conduct a guided sitting maybe around 5 or 6 or something. We can have that as well. And tomorrow also we can have maybe question and answer session or guided sitting session. So this we can have tomorrow as well. So those are the announcements. Am I correct? Am I in the... Okay, right. Okay, then we can wind up the session. So I think some of you are leaving so that I can give you precepts to end up the session.